Over this past year, we've seen a defense develop into a monster. They're going to keep developing and getting much better. And today, that film breakdown is going to be containing the Dallas Cowboys, some elite names such as Leighton Vander Esch, Demarcus Lawrence, Chidobe Awuzie, Jaylon Smith, and just a couple other handful of names that's making this defense become an elite defense. They finished 7th in the NFL this year, and I believe 5th in rushing yards allowed. They're elite, and they're going to keep getting more elite. So let's get into the film breakdown and explain why this is happening. Break down this first Cowboys play. We're going to be looking at a cover 1 look against the Seahawks 2x2 formation. Cover 1 meaning that there's going to be one deep safety kind of defending the middle of the field, helping on any deep passes. And then as we see, it's going to be drawn up here for you. You got the 2 defenders on the top of the screen, and then 2 defenders on the bottom of the screen running man coverage on the receivers. And then finally, usually you could see a kind of combination of a blitz by the extra men that are in the middle of the field. But instead, we see something interesting by the Cowboys. They're going to be calling a zone coverage out of both these guys, kind of keeping an eye on the running back, but also running a zone coverage in the middle. This is the perfect play because we see at the snap of the ball that Leighton Vander Esch, all these DBs are going to be kind of playing the outside hip of these receivers, forcing them back inside to the help. This is a great way to eliminate kind of quick short gains, such as quick slants, drags, anything like that. But the one thing that's going to be kind of a consistent deadly attack for this is a rub route. As we see, there's going to be a rub route ran here. As at the top of the screen we have drawn up, basically meaning that top receiver is going to try to run Chidobe Awuzie into Leighton Vander Esch to create space for that slot receiver to catch the ball in the flat and kind of turn upfield real quick, get a 5-yard gain, get a quick first down. But as instead, we're going to pause it here and look. Leighton Vander Esch just plays this perfectly. He has great awareness to avoid running into Chidobe Awuzie. He kind of avoids him, puts his foot on the ground, steps up, makes a great tackle on Ed Dixon, almost batting the ball away. Didn't though, but he does make a great tackle, which lets his play only go for 2 to 3 yards instead of gaining a first down. This is a great play, just showing off Leighton Vander Esch's athleticism and awareness. I'm excited to see him develop. As we take a look at this next play, we see that the Cowboys are going to be dropping into a cover 4 against the Seahawks 11 personnel. So on this play, we're going to be looking mainly at the top of the screen here. So let's just go over some of the weaknesses of the cover 4. A main one is that flat. It's kind of like the flats and running flat routes against it. So as you see, the Seahawks counter this perfectly, calling a high-low concept here for Russell Wilson, which basically is going to put a lot of stress on the rookie Leighton Vander Esch, the linebacker that has kind of like that intermediate blue zone coverage at the top of the screen here. This basically means it's going to put stress on them because when that flat route kind of breaks out and that top receiver going out, making that 10 to 12 yard out route, basically what could happen here, if Leighton Vander Esch stays back, hit the flat route, Vander Esch steps up, throw the out route. But instead here, we see a great play out of this defense. Chidobe Awuzie is developing into a great cornerback. We see him use the boundary as an advantage to him here. He keeps his back to the boundary and doesn't let that outside receiver kind of beat him out to the boundary. If Chidobe Awuzie got beat to that boundary, we'd have seen Russell Wilson dart this ball out upfield for 10 to 12 yards. But by Chidobe Awuzie playing this technique highlighted in blue right now, it's a perfect look at how you should play cover 4 as kind of like that outside boundary defender. But moving on past that, we see that Leighton Vander Esch does drop back and help defend against the out route, which is kind of already his responsibility as a cover 4 because that's when the flats kind of open up and are a big weakness. But I just want to highlight that even with that weakness in this defense, Russell Wilson still throws at the flats routes, but Leighton Vander Esch puts his foot into the ground and makes this read so fast and steps up to make the tackle that there's nearly no yards after the catch. It's a quick 2-3 yard gain in the flats, maybe 4 yards at most. And this is just another great example of Chidobe Awuzie playing great technique and this defending against deep balls, defending against intermediate routes and cover 4. But also Leighton Vander Esch just showing off his pure natural instincts, making this defense work well and not letting yards after the catch. Moving forward on to the next play, we see the Cowboys kind of switching gears towards stopping the run, which they have obviously been elite at this year, placing 5th in the league. Clearly amazing. So as we break down this play, we see that the Cowboys are going to be kind of trying to stop the Seahawks inside zone here. So kind of going over the blocking assignments on this play, we're going to be seeing left tackle Dwayne Brown. He'll be having kind of a solo block on that defensive end across from him. J.R. Suzie and Justin Britt will have a double team up to Jaylon Smith, highlighted in blue. Then we see DJ Fluker and Jermaine Fetty will be kind of having another double team on that 3-tech up to Leighton Vander Esch, highlighted in blue once again. And then finally, that Noah Fant, they're kind of a hybrid tight end type of dude, we having just a solo block trying to cut off Demarcus Lawrence. So as you see at the snap of the ball, though, we don't really see such a clear picture for the Seahawks. We see why the Cowboys defense is dominant in the trenches and playing perfect football. So we see the circle on the right is just kind of showing off Demarcus Lawrence reading Noah Fant perfectly. He reads his cutoff block, so instead of Demarcus Lawrence engaging, trying to rip off of him, Demarcus Lawrence just grabs Noah Fant, whips him to the ground, creates a gaping hole for his safety Jeff Heath to step into, and Demarcus Lawrence to step through. And then we're going to look at the second bubble here of Leighton Vander Esch stepping up, staying low, being aggressive, and being physical, bouncing DJ Fluker right off of him to make the tackle. This is a perfect example of just how disruptive this defense can be, not even on the defensive line, but Leighton Vander Esch and the run game. Leighton Vander Esch, when he stays low, he has the size to disrupt any blocker, and he just refuses to be blocked. It's absolutely fun watching this team stop the run. They're just going to keep getting better and better as a whole. Breaking down this next Cowboys play, we're going to be seeing them defend against the run once again. So on this play, the Seahawks are going to be running an inside zone play. Kind of going over the blocking scheme just to get the full picture for you guys here. We'll be starting at the right side of the line with number 74. Noah Fant's going to be having a cutoff block on that defensive end. Jermaine Ifedi, the right tackle on the right guard. DJ Fluker going to be having a double team up to Leighton Vander Esch, highlighted in blue. Then we got Justin Britt, the center, and J.R. Sweezy, the left guard, blocking up to Jaylon Smith on a double team. And then finally, left tackle Dwayne Brown's going to have a solo block on that defensive end. So as we see at the snap of the ball, there's a great play that gets made here by the nose tackle Antwaun Woods. So as we see, we're going to pause the frame here. We're going to look at what Antwaun Woods does. So Antwaun Woods reads his double team block coming, and he works right across J.R. Sweezy's face because J.R. Sweezy's leaning forward, heads down, eyes aren't up, can't make the read of what's going on. So Antwaun Woods, with his big frame, is surprisingly quick. So he quickly just crosses right over J.R. Sweezy's face. And as you see, he has an advantage point right now. And the vantage point right now is he's lower, and he's able to kind of free that shoulder up and underneath. So we're going to see as the play continues on here, Antwaun Woods highlighted in blue. He's going to dip that shoulder and rip it right through, kind of just like whipping him right around J.R. Sweezy, making a great tackle on the running back, which I believe is Mike Davis on this play. This is a great example of not Leighton Vander Esch making a good play, not Demarcus Lawrence making a great play, but just showing off the defensive line making plays for this team. Can't wait to see this defense continue to develop for years to come. And that'll all but do it for the breakdown today. Got our 4 plays in, showing off some run game, some pass coverages, some of the good meat and potatoes of this defense, kind of highlighting some of these young players that are continuously developing for this team. So just to kind of recap and summarize what we went over, first let's just start off with this. Leighton Vander Esch, yes, there's some mistakes he's making and reads and kind of spacing in his pass coverage game, but at the end of the day, he's a rookie, and he's playing phenomenal. His natural instincts to break on passes and break on making tackles is absolutely perfect for this defense. I'm excited to keep developing these natural instincts, these tackling abilities, and as soon as he gets that better feel of spacing when it comes to zone coverages and man coverages and stuff like that, I'm excited to see what he can do in the pass coverage game. And then we also broke down what Chidobe Awuzie looked like, him just constantly developing more of that just like technique standpoint, having perfect technique on that cover 4 play earlier, kind of keeping his hips outside, defending the boundary, not letting his receiver get an outside break on him, because he breaks inside, he knows he has inside help, and just him trusting Jeff Heath and the other DBs in that secondary, just to be there to help him out if there is a mistake or if there is something that goes wrong. It's nice to see Chidobe Awuzie trusting his teammates and just following his techniques, and by doing that, we've seen him play phenomenal this year. He didn't make a Pro Bowl. I think he should have been a Pro Bowl player, an All-Pro player. He's right up there, arguably better than Byron Jones, the number 1 cornerback for the Cowboys. Then moving past that, we looked at Demarcus Lawrence, which of course I could have showed off one of his numerous 8 sacks from this year, but we'll keep it simple. We're not going to show you guys that. We know Demarcus Lawrence is a great pass rusher. We don't need to highlight that in today's video. More so, we wanted to highlight how he can even make an effective play in the backfield on these running plays. Absolutely fun to watch. You see him throw Noah Fant on the ground. So much fun to see. Then moving past that, wrapping up with Leighton Vander Esch in the run game. Leighton Vander Esch is a big boy. I think he's 6'4", 230 right now. And you see him play low, keep his pad level low, having DJ Fluker bounce on him, which is a big dude. Seeing that happen and seeing him develop in that run-stopping capability, it's fun to watch. And then we finish with the best position of all, nose tackle, the big beefy boy Antwaun Woods, 26 years young. making a stout play there, being quick and showing off his athleticism. It's fun to see these guys develop. This defense is very young. I'm excited to see them continuously developing through these years. We went over 5 or 6 big names off this defense. We could have won it at Jaylon Smith more, of course, or even Byron Jones more, but we didn't. We left them out because they're good, but we just want to show off more of the rookie class and the second-year players here. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. If you guys did, make sure you guys smack that like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll be coming out with another breakdown once again after the second round of the playoffs wrap up. So anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.